Oh, I got a presentation. All right. So for my film, I decided to call it Divided We Stand. Um, I decided on this title because the political or sociological issue I decided to kind of cover with my film or my hypothetical film is just modern political polarization and the way it divides people. So a quick, brief overview of the plot. Is basically it's gonna follow. I wrote four here. I guess it could be any number of people. Maybe to make it more dramatic, you could just do two people, so it kind of puts more emphasis on the contract and the division between them. But yeah, it would just follow a couple of different people from either different countries or different political parties or different upbringings. People who have obviously different experiences, different upbringings, and therefore, different political views, right? And it's gonna follow them and show how, they view the world through their lens, right? And then throughout the movie, right, tensions are going to rise, and the film will reveal how, these people's identities as well as what they're told from other people, from their news sources, whatever it may be, whether, generalized or, opinionated and more specific, right? And how that can divide people based on opinions and not necessarily facts. Um, and then I had this vision for, the big moment of the film, the climax would be sort of where these two people meet for the first time. Like they don't have any contact throughout the entire movie. But because of their political stances, they would obviously disagree with each other. And then, yeah, toward the end of the movie, they have this big moment where they meet, and then they have some sort of major interaction. So why I think this movie is necessary is because it is a major and urgent threat within societies all over the globe, but especially the United States. I feel like um, people make their political views a massive part of their identity, instead of thinking for themselves. A lot of times they sort of pick a party and run with it and just choose to agree with everything that it says is true and correct and right, regardless of thinking about each individual issue themselves, and then going from there. People are beginning to shut out any new ideas or any ways of thinking or considering anything new. They're kind of stuck in their ways in a lot of ways. And I feel like making a movie like this could teach the lesson of, accepting the opinions of others, whether or not you agree with them, and learning to work together through those. So who's going to be interviewed? I think kind of my general philosophy on this would just be to get a broad range of opinions. Just get pretty much as much people or as many people as you possibly could, because, bigger sample, you're going to have a lot more accurate information the more, people you interview. So people on opposite ends of the political spectrum, and then, extremists, anyone in the middle as well, political scientists, leaders, people who are super involved, people who aren't involved at all. Like I said, pretty much just anyone. The genre, I think, drama is kind of the genre that I feel like fits it the best, because I wanted to pick something that wasn't too like hyper realistic, like a documentary, but still something that could convey emotions without being like, too silly or not serious. I feel like an advantage of this genre is that it's still like a normal movie genre. Like I would go see a drama in the movie theater even if it didn't have a message this important. Like I'm just, whoa, like this seems like a good movie. I like the trailer. It seems intense. Like I like that genre because people will go see it just because it seems like a good movie to watch, just something fun to watch. So what sociological issues would be addressed? Like I said, political polarization, I feel like would be the major issue that would be addressed, and that would be like the theme of it, I guess. But also, the dangers of misinformation, people who are making their political views the center of their identities, conspiracy theories, fake news, all of that stuff as well. So my target audience would be, like I said, people who identify heavily with a certain political mindset, ideology, stance, young adults, anyone who is kind of newer to being an adult in society, people who are still learning what it means to fit into their society, And then just people who like drama movies, I guess. I feel like whenever you appeal to people who are just watching it for fun, it's gonna reach a lot more people than trying to be overly serious. And trying to be like, it's only about the message. You're not allowed to like watching the movie. You're not allowed to enjoy it. Yeah, so my marketing strategy would be mostly on a social media campaign because, like I said, I feel like, due to the fact that my audience is going to be mostly young adults, I feel like sticking to social media and Twitter and all that stuff is definitely going to be the most effective way to market my movie because that's where a lot of young people spend their time instead of like watching TV or something. Um, and then on that, you could do ads with like a major scene from the movie. And an idea I had was to do like a split screen of these two main characters that I had said in the beginning, kind of both having dinner with their families, and they both have drastically different family experiences, right? Like maybe one of them is, their parents think this and that's wrong and they're doing it wrong, but then the other parents agree with them and that shapes, right, their views on the world. So how would I make it cinematic? I would do contrasting lighting colors, like you covered in the lecture for Zootopia. Like I said, split screen storytelling, and also real life footage of political rallies, just to kind of build that emotional tension. And that's it.